and welcome to another lockdown lightsaber tutorial with Solari lightsabers. Blocking is one of the final basic things that we're going to learn before we start moving on to more advanced moves and choreographies. I wanted to do this because I wanted to establish a way to talk about different parts that we are going to be blocking and striking to. This system is something that I learned through the British Academy for Stage and Screen Combat, and it just simplifies how we talk about the different areas to strike to and gives us a way, a language for stage combat. So we can make sure that we are all always thinking about the exact same thing. Because when we're not, accidents happen. So join me for one more essential tutorial that will make your lightsaber battle epic. Alrighty. So what we need to do is define the spots on our bodies that we're going to be expecting the hits to come to. This is the same with the casting tutorial that I did, where it's casting your blade towards your opponent. You will always be going towards these points. This is because it's a choreographed fight. This is not a real fight. This is not a fencing tournament. It is a choreography where this weapon makes you look really freaking cool, but you need to know where you can expect the attack to come. It also means the attacks always come to a spot that's safe in case they do make contact. So what we're gonna do is number the points of attack on our body. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, more specifically, the low points are around the upper middle thigh, so where it's nice and meaty and safe, right around here. Not your hip bone, not exactly at your hips, but about here. It's also not anywhere close to your knees. So the higher ones, 3 and 4, are around the upper middle part of your arm, about chest height. No higher, because you'll see as you get tired, your lightsaber might start drifting up, and you never want to strike at the head. Don't do it. Now the final one, number 5, I pointed to well above my head. You should be finishing your strike well above their head. And it is up to your opponent to make the strike look dangerous by getting the timing of the block right. If you want to know more about attacks, have a look at my casting a strike tutorial, but for now we're going to focus on blocking. To recap, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for example, if I'm blocking an attack to 1, I can't just block another attack to 3 going outside. That won't work. You have to go from 1 through the center of your body and out. You can probably see just from that example that my block will be much more powerful, and I will have already started blocking the second the lightsaber is outside of the line of my body. Here, I might as well have scooped up the sword and brought it at me. So you want to go from 1, 3. And the same goes for everything else. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. It always goes across. And for 5, up. Means I don't go like this. I go center, up. And I will reach up because I want to meet my opponent's blade and block it. So the second rule is your lightsaber needs to block outside of the line of your body. If your block is here, they're just gonna hit you. You can see your body is still exposed, so you have to make sure that it goes comfortably outside. It doesn't have to be here, because then it'll be really hard to block an attack over there. However, it needs to be outside of the line of your body at all times. Not here, not here. And it sounds simple, but it does require some practice. So I would recommend that you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just practice that. And mix it up. You can go 2, 3, 4, 1. As you get more comfortable with it, you can add a little bit more of this body behind this imaginary block, because it's not going to be you actually smacking the opponent's lightsaber away. You want to meet it, move on, meet it, move on. You don't want to spend energy that you don't have to spend. So you can go 3, 4, 1, 2. Anything like that. So there are alternative blocks that you can do to point 2 and point 5. They're called different numbers. It is what it is. It makes sense in the wider system. So for now, just bear with me. But the example is, if you want to block from 4 down to 2, you can't really do that. You'd have to go outside, and that would break our rule about going through the center of our bodies. So what you do is you drop the saber back, do that little release, and stop it here. Now this is block number 7, because it's in the shape of a 7. It's another really cool looking block. The great thing about always passing through the center of your body is the cinematic side of having the light going past your face, but also it gives extra spin to your lightsaber. It always just looks cooler than trying to do it from the outside. So the other one for number 5, which was this in its basic form, is not very martially correct. It's not a strong block, but movies love it because it gives a great frame to the face. So you're gonna get some epic shots from doing this alternative. And it's called the 5A. The only difference is that instead of going straight up, you go around and up like this. So you can see a nice little bicep action. You can even like drop it a little bit. You can have it in the most epic possible way, and obviously light from this angle just makes everything better. So you can have a really cool moment by going through the central line and up into a 5A. So to recap, the 2 rules of blocking are: number 1, the lightsaber must always pass through the center of your body before it goes into a block. And number 2, always block outside the line of your body. The points that you will be blocking at and expecting attacks to are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. As always, I'd love to see how you're getting on, so do tag me in your progress posts. Let me know how you're getting on, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.